So incredibly unironically, while I'm making that video, the guy who owns that car, who is just a self-absorbed person, was Adam Kinzinger, who literally walked out and was just a total jerk about the fact that he was blocking the handicap entrance. Well, Adam, I've got news for you in the morning.
Madison Cawthorn, one of our favorites, Republican in North Carolina, happens to be in a wheelchair for a while, had an accident a few years back. Welcome back, Congressman. How are you, first of all?
Brother, everything's going well. Glad to be on with you as always.
Kinzinger parked in a spot intended for you. What happened?
Well, it's not even the fact that it was a handicapped spot. I mean, it was even worse. So, you know, as most sidewalks are, there's a quick little sidewalk cut where people can roll up and have access to the actual sidewalk. But he decided to park his car right there and block that. That's what he thought where he should be. And then, you know, I think that if anybody was to realize that happened, I'm sure he was in a hurry, whatever. But he came out to the car, and then I said, hey, man, what's the deal with this? Like, why would you do that? Why would you be so inconsiderate? And then he was just a total jerk about it. And I think that really speaks to the character of this guy. You see the fact that, you know, he totes himself as some kind of freedom-loving Republican, but then you see every single one of his actions are the exact opposite, where he is actually just a Nancy Pelosi pawn.
Now, when you say total jerk, give us some details.
Just kind of blew the whole thing off. Didn't say sorry whatsoever. Didn't really say anything about it. Just kind of looked at me and said, "Oh, whatever, man." Then got in the car and just as you would normally expect some guy to act that who is currently trying to undermine our democracy.
Well, maybe he was emotionally expended because he had such a busy day of acting yesterday. I want to play this for everybody as he was at that January 6th hearing and laying it on a little bit thick.
You know, you talk about the impact of that day, but you guys won. You guys held. You know, democracies are not defined by our bad days. We're defined by how we come back from bad days, how we take accountability for that.
It makes no sense how he was behaving. And I know he's heard all this stuff before. What'd you make of that?
Well, what I made of it, I wish you had actually played about 5 seconds before that clip, just about 5 seconds to give some more context, because he's literally smirking and laughing right before that, then goes straight to tears. But you know what? I believe, really, when I see what's going on this panel, and I see the fact that these people are saying they're allowing Nancy Pelosi to choose their committee assignments. It infuriates me. You know what? I'm someone who is up here as a Republican. I ran as a Republican, and I take my committee assignments from the Republican Party. I take my committee assignments from all of us who decide where we go on committees. But this person decided, hey, I'm actually going to leave what the Republicans normally want. I'm going to do whatever Nancy Pelosi wants. And so that's why I'm actually calling that he no longer caucuses with us. I don't believe he should be allowed to come to our conference meetings. I don't believe he should be allowed to listen into our strategies to try and safeguard our republic. I love how he said, you know, democracies are defined by how they come back from bad days. We're not a democracy. We're a democratic republic. Get it right.
Hey, by the way, I think you, and I only have a few seconds left, sorry, but you endorsed his opponent, the woman who's primarying him, correct?
Oh, I did, absolutely, very proudly. You know what? When someone wants to act this way, when someone wants to turn their back on the will of the American people, I looked into his district, and in Illinois, I actually have a very dear friend who is this incredible America First patriot, someone who worked in the Trump administration named Catalina Lauf, and I am incredibly proud to be endorsing her. I will be going to help her in her race, and I will be defeating Adam Kinzinger, or scaring him so much that he decides not to run.
All right. Madison Cawthorn, Congressman, Republican of North Carolina, tearing things up in D.C., just like you said you would. We're proud of you. To be continued, sir. All right, great guy, huh? Thanks so much for watching. Stand by for Stinchfield.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.